Welcome, everyone. Um, so excited for you to join us tonight. Tonight, we are talking all about rollerballs. And I am Stacy Cook, and I'm joined by Robin Winchester and Vanessa Yultson, who will also be helping me and sharing some of their favorite recipes that are going to be awesome for this season and really every season. Can everyone hear me okay? Yeah, good. All right. Um, so we're going to be talking about rollerball recipes using some of your starter bundle oils, but also some oils outside of that starter bundle that are just really good ones to pull into your collection that you can use in a lot of different ways. And we're going to share with you the recipes for these rollers, um, a little bit about the oils in them, and then where and when you're going to want to use them. So definitely take some notes. I will share the recipes in the chat, but if you're watching the recording, you're not going to see the chat. So be ready to write them down. I consider rollerballs personally to be like the grab and go of oiling. It is the easiest way to make sure that you have on hand what you need when you need it. And it just takes like a little bit of prep up front, and you can have, a whole array of rollers spilling out of your purse. I'm not saying that's what happens to me, but it might be what happens to me. um, so just to give you a little bit, I know some of you here are very seasoned oilers and are well versed in how to make a roller ball. But for those of you who maybe haven't made your own yet, I just want to share with you some of your options and the supplies you need for making a roller ball. Because when we're talking about roller balls, we're just talking about putting your oils into a roller ball like this, right? It's just a little glass bottle. These are 10 ml rollers, and you can get these on Amazon. And they come with a little roller top. One of my big tips when you're making roller balls is before you put your roller together, before you fill it and put this top on, make sure that your roller ball, the little ball in there, is really good and rolly. Because if you get a roller ball that's stuck and it's not rolling on very well, it's super frustrating. So get it rolling first. But anyway, all you do is when you make your roller ball, you put your oils in here. And we're going to tell you how many oils, essential oils to put in. And then you top it off with a carrier oil. And a carrier oil, as I'm sure you know, is any fatty oil, right? So it could be coconut oil, jojoba oil, grapeseed oil, whatever your heart desires. For some specific uses, certain carrier oils may be more beneficial than others. And we'll touch on that a little bit later. In terms of dilutions, oh, and one other thing I do want to share is I love repurposing my 15 ml bottles for rollers. So you can save and clean your 15 ml essential oil bottles and then get the Aroma Glide Fit Mints from Young Living. These are awesome because these never give you that like stuck roller balls not rolling on. These roll on like heaven. They are fantastic. So if you like to repurpose stuff, these together are a great option. But anyway, like I was saying, you just put in your essential oils and then you put in your carrier oil. The amount of essential oils you put in is going to depend on a few factors. I always say you're going to go low and slow when you're first starting out. So if you're really new to essential oils, in that 10 ml bottle, you're going to put like 10 drops of essential oil in and fill the rest up with a carrier oil. If you've been using oils for a long time and you're very comfortable with them and you really want like a big bang of essential oils, you may fill this thing half up with essential oils, and that's totally fine too. But always start low and slow. If you're making rollers for kids, you're going to dilute further. So you could do something like 2 to 5 drops of essential oil in your roller bottle. If you're making rollers for babies, you could do 1 to 2 drops. So you just dilute it further and further down for younger and younger kids is how I've always approached it. So we are going to share 6 of our favorite roller balls to get you through the end of the year. And I know that you know this, but it's all of those things around this time of the season. It's when we get a little extra stressed out. Maybe we get a little less sleep, or our digestion gets a little out of whack because we're eating maybe not the best foods. And it's all of those things that really leads to that uptick in illness. You know how they say, like, it's not flu season, it's sugar season. So with our roller balls in hand and prepped, we can kind of help avert some of those things from happening. We can help, ensure that we get good sleep, that we stay de-stressed, that we keep our digestion on point, all those types of things. So with that, I want to share my favorite recipe, roller recipe, especially for this time of year. And it is all about remaining calm in times of high stress, dealing with all those anxious feelings that can happen during the holidays, lots of family get-togethers, lots of demands on us and our time. And that blend is called Mellow Mix. You may have heard of it, but it is fantastic. So this is a blend of 6 oils, 3 that come in the starter bundle, and then 3 that are from outside of the starter bundle. So the first one is lavender, and it's this is a high or like a low dilution blend. It's got a lot of essential oil in it. So like I was saying, if you're newer, you haven't been using oils as much, you could always half the amount of oils or even third the amount of oils, depending what you want to start with. So this is 30 drops of lavender, 24 drops of Valor, 18 drops of Stress Away, 10 drops of Patchouli, 10 drops of Vetiver, and 8 drops of Northern Lights Black Spruce. And I'm going to copy that into the chat for you. And there you go. And so lavender, we already know, right? That's super calming. Studies have also shown it helps improve concentration, which can be really helpful when you're kind of under a lot of stress or anxiety. We all know Valor is fantastic for dealing with those types of feelings because it has that frankincense and blue tansy. Blue tansy is also known for kind of helping to abate feelings of anger. And for me, that's kind of one of my first emotions that flares up when I'm frustrated. So it's super good. Stress Away, we know that helps to relieve nervous tension, and it can even improve mental response to challenges. Patchouli, so I know patchouli, it's not everyone's cup of tea, but in this mix, it is a small amount compared to everything else. You don't really get an overly patchouli aroma. And patchouli is used as a relaxant, which I don't know if a lot of people know that. I know a lot of times we talk about how good it is for our skin, but it's very relaxing, very calming. And it can definitely help us ease tension throughout the body. Vetiver is in there. Now, vetiver is a magical little oil that I don't think we really talk about enough. One thing about vetiver is that it is very, very thick. So it can be hard to get out of the bottle. So what you want to do is you want to tuck it in your pocket or in your bra for a few minutes before you're going to make this mix so that it will pour easier out of the bottle. Just that little bit of body heat, warming it up will help. But vetiver is very calming and stabilizing. It helps us cope with stress. It also helps us recover from emotional trauma. So during times of high stress, holiday times, all of that, that's a super helpful one to have on hand. And the Northern Lights Black Spruce. Northern Lights Black Spruce, the big trees are fantastic for helping to release emotional blocks, bring about feelings of balance, very grounding. So it's a big blend with a lot of oils, but it is super, super calming, super great for all of those anxious feelings. So it's calming, not like your sleep oil, it's calming, easing all that tension and stress in your body. So that is Mellow Mix. I am going to pass this over to Robin. Robin is going to share about a couple of rollers that she likes to use.
Okay, hi everyone. So I love my sleep roller. It is my favorite roller. And like Stacy said, I have a whole bag full of rollers. I tend to have them rolling out everywhere when I get someplace. So, but my sleep roller is my favorite roller and I never leave home without it. I like to use it every night, right at bedtime, right when I'm getting into bed so that I don't have to worry about the oils getting on the floor and things like that. I roll it around my ankle bone 2 or 3 times, and then I roll it on the instep of my foot 2 or 3 times. And I mean, like I just go 1, 2, 3, just 3 little swipes. If I'm feeling really overstimulated or really overtired, and I'm afraid I'm not going to get a good night's sleep, you start getting all those things running through your head, I'll put a little bit on the nape of my neck and behind my ears as well. But typically it's just my ankle bone and my instep of my foot. And I put 10 drops of lavender in my roller. Lavender is obviously very calming. Stacey just told you all about it. It's such a great, great sleep and relaxation and calming oil. I love it. I love the smell of it. And it also supports a normal inflammatory response in the body too, which is good for relaxing. I also put 10 drops of cedarwood in it. And that is a very calming oil as well. Cedarwood and I had sort of a love-hate relationship at first. A lot of people don't really love the smell of cedarwood at first, but I'm telling you, the more you use it, the more it grows on you and you tend to like it. I really like it now. So I use 10 drops of cedarwood in with my lavender. And then I used 5 drops of Stress Away. Stress Away is, a mix of copaiba, lime, cedarwood, actia, and lavender. It's sort of vacation in a bottle. It smells amazing. I also use that in my perfume as well, but it's really specially formulated to help relieve everyday stressors and tensions. It helps you sleep better at night, and it helps you really relax. So it's really complementary with the lavender and the cedarwood. And I don't like it to really overpower because it does have a lot of different oils in it. So I like to do a little less drops of that and just do 5 of the Stress Away. And then I use valerian, which is a great oil for sleep support. It helps, again, release the stressors of the day. It relaxes you. It calms your thoughts. And I really love it. That's also another one that has an interesting aroma at first, but again, you'll kind of get used to it the more you use it. And I find that when I use, if I don't have valerian and I'm out or something and I use a roller without it, it just doesn't work quite as well. So I think that for me is a really good one. And again, I put 5 drops in. That's my sleep roller. I make one for my husband who has a little bit more trouble sleeping than I do. And I add actually some vetiver to his. And so that's another thing that you could add. That's a really good sleep support oil. It works great. I'll add 5 drops of vetiver to his as well. So that's my sleep roller, and it works great. Everyone needs one, and it's so easy to make. And like Stacey said, you can use your extra, your empty lavender bottle and just add these other oils to it and pop on a roller fitment and off you go. You don't need to wait for your Amazon order to arrive. All right. My next roller that I use every day is my wellness roller. And I am very comfortable using oils. I've been using them for quite a while. So my wellness roller has a lot of oils in it. And it's probably about half to 3/4 full of essential oils. And it just has a couple of squirts of organic fractionated coconut oil. Oh, that is the carrier oil that I use in my sleep roller as well. Organic fractionated coconut oil. All right. So for my wellness roller, I start with the good one, Thieves. So whenever you're feeling a little under the weather or you're looking for some immune support, Thieves is where you should be. I love it in tea and all that good stuff. But for my roller, it's really helpful at boosting your immune system. It helps protect your body from viruses, helps with nasal symptoms, helps with, keeping your lungs clear. It helps with your body's inflammatory response. And it's a really, really great smelling oil. It smells like fall and Christmas to me. It's got a blend of clove and lemon, cinnamon, rosemary, and eucalyptus radiata. So it's a great, great blend to have. We always have Thieves on hand. So I put 10 drops of Thieves in my wellness roller. I put 5 drops of Purification. So Purification is another great blend that really helps to clean everything around you. It purifies, right? So it purifies your air. I use it in, sprays for our furniture or pet areas, things like that. But it's got citronella, rosemary, lemongrass, tea tree, myrtle, and lavender in it. And it's a great, great oil that keeps, a lot of the yuck at bay for the fall and winter season. So I add 5 drops of purification. I put in 5 drops of oregano. Oregano is a really great oil for inflammation. So it's going to really help bring down inflammation, and it's really going to help support your immune system. I use 3 drops of frankincense, which is a fantastic oil. It does so many wonderful things, but it's an immune stimulant. It supports normal inflammatory response. It helps keep our lungs clear, and it just aids in all over healing. So it's really going to help your body heal itself. I also add 5 drops of geranium. I love geranium because I love the smell of it, number one, but also it's really great for a lot of the new viruses that are out lately. So you can head to PubMed.com and take a peek at some studies that show geranium essential oil, pine essential oil, and lemon essential oil really helping with some new things that are popping up in our lives now. But I add 5 drops of geranium because of that. I also add 5 drops of lemon. Lemon is great at helping you beat the winter blues. So that's a really great uplifting oil, but it's great for immune system too. It is a citrus, so that's helpful. And also, just as a side note, it's great for flavoring your water so you stay hydrated during these seasons. And 5 drops of pine. It helps clear your lungs. It's a tree oil. These tree oils are so good for your respiratory system. So anything Northern Lights black spruce, pine, all of those, Idaho blue spruce, all of those great spruce oils are really helpful. But I only add pine to my wellness roller, 5 drops for bronchial support and immune system support. And it helps to get rid of all the things that the kids bring home to all of us. And like I said, I tend to use this every day. I'll use it on my lower back, right on my spine. I do 3 swipes, 1, 2, 3, just whatever I can reach. Nice and easy. I do it first thing in the morning. If I'm starting to feel a little below the wellness line, or if I've traveled recently, or if I've been around a lot of people, I'll use it a little more frequently, and I'll do it, again, 2 or 3 more times on my spine during the day, and I'll roll it on my feet at night so that I get that extra support. So those are my 2 favorite rollers that I use every day.
That's awesome. Thank you, Robin. Those are great.
You're welcome.
I love the additions to your wellness roller. Mine is, I usually do the Thieves, Frank, and Lemon, but you've got some other really good ones in there that I'm going to have to add in. I love it.
Yeah, I feel like you can't go wrong with adding more.
Right? It's so true.
I don't think I could overdose on them, so I'm just going to keep putting them in. If somebody tells me something's good for something, I'm adding it.
Right? You hear one thing and you're like, oh, I definitely need some pine in there.
Yeah, and I think it works really well. It's a good combination for our family, at least. So hopefully it'll work for everybody.
That's awesome. I love it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Vanessa is going to share a couple of her favorite rollers that she uses regularly.
Thanks, Stacy. Okay, so mine are a little bit, they're simple, but they are my go-tos, and that I use pretty much all the time. My first one is my seasonal roller. So if you are one of those people that, especially spring and fall, start to get that congestion, that little bit of like it going on as seasons change. This is actually the first roller that I ever learned to make when I started years ago. And I've been like refilling it ever since. So those of you that are experienced oilers, you guys are already like way on this, and that if you're new, this needs to be your go-to. This is what we call LLP. Mine is LLP and a little bit of C. So we've got in our roller ball, and that we're going to do lavender, lemon, and peppermint. So we've talked about lavender so far as like being able to calm you down. We've talked about it, as far as inflammatory response, and that lavender, at least for me too, and that is also a very refreshing and that kind of aroma as well. So we've got the lavender going in this one, lemon, like Robin mentioned, and that is great for all things kind of like detox. And that, so our lemon is in there too. Lavender and lemon too is just one of like my all-time favorite like aroma combinations. I don't know what it is between like the floral and the bright, but like Love that. And then the kick to it is peppermint. So peppermint is also very purifying, also anti-inflammatory. I'll go to peppermint for everything from digestion to headaches, to cooling, and that in the summertime, a little bit of a little bit of peppermint on the back of my neck. Totally like multitasker oils all the way around. So when I do that one, I usually do in a 10 ml roller, I'll do like 3 drops of lavender, 3 lemon, 3 peppermint. The extra boost that we put in there is Copaiba. And so Robin talked a little bit about Copaiba, and that Stacy talked a little about it. Copaiba is awesome for anti-inflammatory. Okay, so anytime if we start thinking about like some of those responses that we're getting when sinuses start going crazy, and that we're getting a whole bunch of inflammation there, which is also then, making your mucus glands go nuts and like all sorts of crazy. So Copaiba is a great anti-inflammatory. I also kind of tend to think of Copaiba as like a super booster, and that I don't know what it is, but for some reason adding Copaiba to pretty much anything amps up the effectiveness for me. Like I would, any of the rollers that you've seen tonight, and that toss in a couple drops of Copaiba along with it too. And like, it just gives it that little bit of extra boost. And so pretty simple, lemon, lavender, peppermint, all come in the starter kit. And that Copaiba, and that would be something you would need to add. And that again, just a 10 ml roller bottle. Once my oils are in there, I top the rest off with fractionated coconut oil. For me personally, and that when I'm getting that congestion, I like to roll it along like my collarbones, and that, kind of make almost like that little swipe underneath your chin. I'll do it along the sides of my throat, and even sometimes back behind my ear. So kind of all up, and that in here is where I will go with my seasonal roller. This is, and that when in doubt, like Stacy said, a bunch of rollers in my purse at any given moment. I'll swap them in, I'll swap them out. There's some, depending on the season. LLP is always, always, always in my purse. And so this is my go-to roller. The other one that I love is awesome for skin support. So we did a challenge a few months ago, I believe it was back in August, where we did a whole month long Frank Your Face challenge. And that I know one of Tracy's all-time favorite uses for frankincense, and like I will never get it right, frankincense is Spanx for your face. So, like one of the best ways that we can use frankincense is like put it right on your skin. It is an amazing skin support oil. Starts to get rid of those fine lines and wrinkles with regular use. So I made myself a roller. Actually, my roller is just about out, so I'm actually going to kind of make a new one. This one, and that is a little bit heavy duty as far as what I do is I take an entire 5 ml bottle of frankincense, and that whole 5 ml bottle is going in here. And so this is literally 50% frankincense. Lavender is also, amongst all the other things, an amazing skin oil as well. So I'll add a little bit of lavender to that. Right, like I said, I'll add maybe about 10 drops or so of lavender, especially since there's so much frankincense. And then my carrier oil for this one is jojoba oil. Okay, jojoba oil, just as far as the compounds that you're going to find in here, is the most, you will chemically similar to the natural oils in your face. And in your skin in general. So jojoba oil is a great skin oil if you're going to be putting stuff, especially on your face, along your neck, all that kind of like exposed skin, especially that you want firmed up. And that this is going to be one that your face is going to especially love because it is closest to the chemical composition of your natural sebum, those natural oils. So about half of my roller, and that is jojoba oil. The other half is frankincense. I throw in a little bit of lavender because lavender is awesome. I've used this same roller, and that after I've had a few different kind of skin cancer lesions taken off my face to heal scars, and that I will also then throw a few drops of helichrysum in there too. So same stuff that I would usually use after surgeries like that, stuff where they've been cutting on my face, and that I'll throw some helichrysum in there too to also promote healing. And that helichrysum is great for healing skin cuts, scrapes, boo-boos of any kind. I know it's in the Kid Sense Aloe blend, and that, right. So when I need that, I'll also throw some helichrysum in there too. So, but yeah, and then that literally like at night after I cleanse and tone my face, and that this is literally just, I roll it all over my face, give it like a little swipe, and then I'm ready for bed. So those are two of my favorite like everyday rollers.
Thank you so much, Vanessa. That's awesome. I use the Frank Your Face roller too, and I love it. And I also do the 50-50, but I don't usually add lavender to mine, but I think I'm going to try that because like Robin said, you can always add more.
Right.
So
And again, like we know lavender's so good for your skin.
yeah,
So
I love it. I'm totally going to do that. Thank you so much. I've got one more roller to share with you guys. And when we talk about, like I was saying earlier, you know, the holiday season, I feel like digestion is something that can really get thrown out of whack. So it's one we definitely want to support. And my stuffed roller is really basic, and it is just 10 drops of Digize and 10 drops of peppermint. Um, so Digize, if you've gotten a Young Living Starter Bundle, you probably have Digize. You may or may not have used it yet because for a lot of people, it's like, doesn't smell great. You know, I don't know people, a ton of people who love fennel and love anise, but that is what Digize smells like, but it is amazing for your digestion. So Digize is a blend of tarragon, ginger, peppermint, juniper, which is also really great for your kidneys, fennel, which actually helps prevent fermentation in the gut, anise, which supports bile flow, which is all part of that digestion process. It does have patchouli, shocking, and lemongrass, all really great for your digestion. So Digize as a blend, you can take it internally or you can use it topically, right? You could diffuse it, but I don't recommend it. And probably at this point, my first go-to is sometimes ingesting Digize, but I actually love having it in a roller for when, if I ever have digestive problems at night. So one time I was traveling. I was with my husband. I don't know if we were married yet, but we were at his parents' house, and his dad is a great cook, and he had made these like luscious ribs, and we ate them at 9 o'clock at night, and then you know an hour later went to bed, and I woke up in the middle of the night with the worst stomach ache. I was laying on the bathroom floor, and I'm not at home. I'm my I don't know if they were my in-laws yet, but not my house. And so such a bad stomach ache. And I had Digize with me, and I put Digize on my stomach, and I went and laid back in bed, and it just all kind of, I got to go back to sleep. I was able to go back to sleep, and it all faded away. So I like to have it to use topically at night. So that's why I love the stuffed roller. And I add peppermint because peppermint really is soothing. It's like cooling and calming. So it kind of like ups that, I feel like, calming of the muscles. It's so peppermint is known to relax the smooth muscles of the intestines. It also helps promote peristalsis, which is like the peristalsis, which is like the going out action of your intestines, moving everything along. So I like adding the little extra bit of peppermint in there for all those reasons. So Digize and peppermint, your stuffed roller, definitely keep it on hand. If you eat too late at night and wake up in the middle of the night, that's your go-to. And of course, you can keep that one in your purse too, but I don't know. I'm not going to be lifting my shirt up and putting my Digize on my belly in the middle of a restaurant, but you can just take that one to the bathroom with you. Every other oil I will apply anywhere. So those are the rollers that we have for you guys. We have just a couple minutes left. If anyone has anything in particular you have a question about, you are welcome to unmute yourself and ask a question or ask it in the chat.
Did you say when you were doing the Digize and peppermint, did you put the fractionated coconut oil in it also?
Yes, correct. Exactly. Thank you. Yeah, I top it off with the fractionated coconut oil. Absolutely. Oh, and Amy just had a recommendation to add Kunzia to the LLP roller, which is a great idea. I haven't used it that way, but I love that, especially because I have a lot of Kunzia. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Robin and Vanessa, and I hope that was helpful for everyone. And we are going to transition into our business partner call. I'm going to kick it over to Tracy. She's going to take over. You are all welcome to stay on because this probably could pertain to anyone on here.